Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games. I'm here with another chess video, and today I am joined by my daughter. She is 6. She just played a few chess games, and she thought she would share the results of those games with you all today. Welcome, cute Jingles. How you doing?
Good!
All right, so let's go through your game, and you can let us all know, what's going through your mind as you make this move. So you're the white pieces, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why are you making this move here? This is your pawn to e4. What's your goal with this move?
I'm trying to, take the center.
Okay, so this is mostly a move about taking the center?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what your opponent does. What do you think of your opponent's move here?
I was like, huh? And
Why that seem like such a questionable move to you?
Because now they aren't in the center, and the center is really good for your pawns to be.
Okay, so you're saying you feel like they're not really fighting for the center. Would it surprise you to hear that this is a very common opening, actually? It has a name called the French defense. And it is going to fight for the center, but you're right. It's not in the same way that you're doing it, right? It's going to fight for it a little bit differently. So let's see what you did. Okay, you really love bringing out this bishop, don't you? All right, what do you like so much about bringing out that bishop?
Because I can castle after next turn.
How can you castle after next turn? What's your next move going to be?
My next move is going to be taking my knight out, then castling.
And why do you like to castle so much? I've noticed this about your game, that you really love castling.
Well, castling is one of the most powerful moves in the game. And if you do it early, you can win.
What is it, though? What does it do for your king? What does castling do for your king?
It makes it so he's very safe and protected.
Gotcha. So your thought is, I'm going to get this bishop so I can get my king safe and protected.
Yeah.
I got a question, though. Why did you move it to this square? Just need to grab the mouse here. So why did you move to this square instead of, say, like this square or this square? What about this square? Would you have thought about moving your bishop there?
No, because then I can't move my queen pawn out.
Yeah, then this pawn's stuck, right? So that's a good idea. Okay, so you like this square. I've noticed that. You really like this square for your bishop. Let's see what your opponent does. Oh my. What do you think of that move? What do you think of your opponent's move here?
Like that? I do not like it because then they can't push that pawn.
Yeah, it's blocking the pawn, isn't it? That's a little bit of a surprise. They are doing what you're doing, though, right? They're getting out. It looks like they're getting ready to castle, but they put it in a spot that is pretty tough to develop. Okay, you weren't kidding. You're going to get your knight out. You're getting ready to castle. And that's the reason, right? Okay, well, you already told us that, so you're happy with this move. All right, look, your opponent says that is a great plan. Do you like what your opponent did there?
Not that much.
Oh, why not?
Because, I don't like when people copy me.
Oh, you don't like it because they're copying you. What I meant is, do you think that's a strong move?
It is attacking my pawn.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's attacking your pawn. And does your pawn have a backup right now?
No.
No. So I'm very curious to see what you did. Did you back up your pawn? Did you make another move that I'm seeing that's extra good? But my guess is you castled because you love castling so much. What move did you make here? Do you remember?
I think I castled.
All right, let's see. You did castle. So you missed something really good. This is a good move always, right? Castling is great.
Yes.
But did you notice? Remember we've been talking about pawn forks. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
You could have gone there, attacking both of those pieces, and are you guarding that square? Mm-hmm. Which piece is guarding that square?
Pawn.
No, what I mean is,
And the knight.
yeah, the knight is guarding the square. So if you move up, he's got a backup. He's attacking them, and you're gonna get to trade a pawn for a knight or a bishop. Is that a good trade for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good trade. But you just love castling so much. I'm not surprised you missed that because castling is your favorite. All right. Okay. So your opponent says, "Wow, you didn't back up your pawn, and you didn't fork me. I am gonna take that." What did you think when they took your pawn there?
I was like, I guess I'll do better in
Okay.
the game.
Okay. Let's see what your next move is then. Okay. So that's a good idea. Why did you make that pawn move?
Because, like that I really like taking the center.
Okay.
I'm attacking one of the center squares, and my pawn is in the center.
Okay. So you get to put your pawn in the center. You get to attack a center square. That seems quite reasonable to me. Let's see what your opponent does. Whoa, what? Were you surprised when your opponent did that?
No,
You were
actually wasn't.
Why not?
'Cause I knew, like, my rook could take or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, were you surprised your opponent gave you a knight for a pawn? Because my guess is you're
Yeah.
gonna take this knight back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did, and that seems like a really good idea.
That was the best move, the computer says.
It does. It does. The computer does say that's the best move. Boy, we got our 6-year-old already using computer analysis. We're in trouble. But yeah, taking the piece does seem like a good idea, right? So I'm wondering what your opponent was thinking there, why they did that move. But whoa, this person is the attacker. Did this worry you at all? They're bringing their bishop in?
Kinda, but I knew I could just take, and my king stayed there for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this position real quick. So look at your opponent's pieces. Now that they've given you the 2 that they developed, how many pieces do they have out now?
0.
0. They have 0 pieces out, and you have 1, 2, 3. You might have to tuck him back eventually. But wow, that is a big development advantage, and your opponent's given you 2 pieces. So you have a pretty big lead here. I'm hoping we can win this one, but we won't spoil it yet. Let's see.
Yeah.
So your opponent also hasn't castled. Oh, okay. So instead of moving a piece out,
That's a mistake.
that's a mistake.
Yes.
Why do you feel like that's a mistake? What's wrong with that move?
Like, I know that's a mistake because, like, it's the 7th move,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, getting your center pawns out
Mm-hmm.
is, like, better.
Well, they did. Look what they did, though. They moved their
Yeah.
pawn that wasn't completely in the center into
Yeah.
the center. So
Yeah.
they took the center. Why is that not the best move there, do you think?
Because they could have made it so their king was safe.
Okay.
And it's also opening up their path.
Okay, so they could have castled. That's a good point. And they could have gotten safe. Also, look, doesn't it look like we can just take this pawn now? Yeah, that might be a problem. And then also, like you said, they don't have any pieces out yet. So it's kind of a mistake from that perspective. Let's see how we did this. Ooh.
That's bad.
Whoa, you didn't take the pawn. What are you threatening to do here?
I am actually threatening to take their queen.
Wow. Were you worried at all that they would just push this pawn and make it so that you couldn't take their queen? And then what would you have done if they did that? Do you have any ideas?
I probably would have moved my bishop back 1.
To here?
Yes.
Okay. And then this pawn is still, what is that called when it's on the same diagonal? Do you remember? What is with this pawn? What do we call that?
In a pin.
Yeah, so it's pinned, so it can't do anything. Now, it's not gaining us a ton here, but it's interesting. Okay, so I'm guessing they don't push that pawn, though, do they? No. Wow.
They can't castle now.
Wow.
Now they can't castle.
Well, yeah, more so, though. You got their queen. I was I was near you when you were playing, and I heard you yell, "I got their queen!" Were you excited?
Because nobody like ever gives me a free queen, but the game continues.
Yeah, the game continues. Do they take your piece here? It seems like they. What? They didn't take your piece. Okay, that's a surprise. What? Why didn't you take this piece out of here? Look, why'd you make this move?
They want to get my piece out.
Ah, so you want to develop your piece. I like that idea. Let's get all of our pieces out. I'm a little concerned, though, that we didn't notice that this guy was going to get taken, right? Because you had a lot of ways to get out, right? You could have gone like here, or you could have gone out on this side. But I like the logic, though, that you're going to get your pieces out. And you're up quite a bit. But they still didn't take you? What is happening with this game? Oh, now you're bringing on the heat. You've just decided you're giving up this piece, haven't you? Or maybe not. Maybe they're just never going to take it. Okay, so why'd you make this move?
Because it is very good, and the computer says it's the best move, but it actually allows me to attack a lot of squares.
Oh, okay. Let's look at the squares.
Knight in the center.
Okay, so the knight in the center attacks a lot of squares. That's a great point. Look at all these squares it's attacking. Oh my goodness.
It's attacking a lot of squares.
Yeah, okay. I see
That's
that.
why I like knight in the center so much.
Okay, yep. I got to agree with you. Knights in the center are some powerful knights. Oh, they finally took your piece. Were you upset when they took your piece, or were you just like, whatever, I have too many of their pieces?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder, do you see a tactic here? Do you see a way to win this rook? See if you can find it. I don't know if you found it in the game, but let's see if you can find it right now.
I think there attacks here.
To this square?
Yes, to the square.
Okay, so if you go here,
F7.
what all is it attacking if we drop this knight here?
It's actually a really good move because it actually is a fork.
It's a fork? What is a forking?
A fork, it's forking the king and the rook.
King and the rook. Boom. They're going to have to move their king out of check. And then what happens when they do?
Taking the rook.
Free rook. So let's see if you did that in the game. Did you do that in the game? Did you find it? Oh, you didn't find it. Didn't find it, but that's okay. This is still a pretty solid move. You got the pawn. Your rook is on the attack.
And clearly the computer says it's good, but
yeah, the computer says it's good, but it's not the best move. But that's okay. We don't need the computer for this. We can just play without the computer.
yeah.
Okay, so let's continue. What does your opponent do? Wow. Let's take a real quick peek again at the position. How many pieces has your opponent have out?
0.
0. And what move are we on?
We're on the 12th move.
We're on the 12th move, and your opponent has 0 pieces out. I feel like that is a problem. Okay, let's see where you go next. Okay, why'd you go there?
Because a rook, moving my rook there means a free pawn.
Okay,
I
free pawn.
love free pieces,
Yeah.
especially free queens.
Yes, this has been quite the game for free pieces. So we got a free pawn. We're feeling good about that.
I did not take that pawn
Why not?
because the rook would just take me back.
Rook has a backup. So why'd you go here? Why'd you just move your rook over? I'm curious.
Because it, I didn't want to move it up there because the rook would just take me.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, you had a backup here for him. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I
Also,
didn't see it.
just a little note. Rooks on the 7th rank tend to be really good. Because, look, they make it so that the king can't go a lot of places. They're cutting off a lot of the board. And this particular spot, this guy's covering that square. So you can do clever things like sticking him right there. Well, I guess you can't because the bishop's there. But just
Yeah.
generally speaking, rooks in the 7th rank can be really powerful. But you decide to move them over, and that's fine. You're up a lot. Everything's good. Your opponent just moves their rook. This is the only piece they've decided they're using this game. Look, this side of the board does not exist, right? Your opponent does not like that side of the board. They're only using this one rook. Let's see what we do. Okay.
What?
Why'd you do that?
Because that's really good, I think.
Okay. Why is that such a good move?
Because the rook isn't guarding,
Ah.
and it's attacking that whole file, the
Oh, okay.
H file.
So you got the pawn and you're controlling the H file.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Now your opponent has moved the rook yet again.
Yes.
Well, so I got to ask you, were you surprised at this point that your opponent was only moving this rook?
Yes. I was
Okay.
very surprised.
Would have been surprised too. I will say, I feel like you might have just been able to take that rook. All right.
Well,
All right.
I was waiting for it to go over there so I could take it.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's see where we go next. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. So you're going to push this pawn. What's going on with this pawn push? I'm curious. Why did we decide that moving that pawn up was a good idea? What was good about that move? Any
Like,
ideas?
I could make a queen if
Oh,
push.
so you're already thinking about making queens, huh? I think that might be hard to make a queen here because look, they've got people on this file still. I think if it was me, I would have looked at getting these two pieces in, my queen and rook, to just finish this thing off. I'm not entirely sure where I would have put them. Maybe I would have gone like here. And then maybe there with a check, and then swing this guy over.
Like, the computer says that it was a good move.
Oh yeah, no, the computer does say it's a good move.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. I was just showing you what I would have done. I think I would have gotten my pieces involved.
Yes.
Okay, look at that. They move him again, and look, they went to the 7th rank. They heard us talking about the 7th rank, the 2nd rank if you're playing the black pieces, and they said, "Yeah, I like it. Let's do it." So they're on our 7th rank. Were you worried when they got their rook in that far?
No.
Yeah, I think you're right. A lone rook like that isn't really doing that much. Oh, the sneaky check, huh? What were you thinking with this one?
Like it's back row check.
Okay. Were you thinking it might be a checkmate at first? Did you see that the king could escape here?
Yeah. I
Okay.
thought it was a checkmate at first,
Hmm.
but I thought it was just a check.
Okay. And then he got out, and you were like, "That's cool. I'm still pretty deep in here." Whoa. What was with this move? What were you thinking there? What was your idea here of going and grabbing that pawn there?
I was thinking like, if he took, that'd be fine.
Okay, so you're thinking if he takes here, I'm fine. Why? What were you seeing that would make that work out well for you? What would your next move be?
My next move would be like taking a piece or moving down to get.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a specific move. You're saying maybe here. Okay. Interestingly, the computer says that your move is the best move, which I didn't realize. I think the move I would have made is just this. Just
Well,
take the free piece.
I like computers that make it so like they think I have some best moves.
Look at that. Looks like our moves are about tied. The computer also likes that move. But yeah, it's interesting that this move, I would not have seen that as being one of the best moves. Oh, they checked you. Were you worried?
No, that was a free piece.
That was a free piece. You're right. All right. Let's see. What's black going to do now? Okay, so now they do take that piece. And what are we going to do here? Oh, now you took that piece, but there's kind of a problem with that. What is the problem with taking that piece?
He could just take, but I didn't realize.
Oh, okay. So you didn't realize that he was backing him up when you took him. Oh, and
They just took a piece.
they didn't take you And you said what? Another free piece? Thank you.
Yes.
That's a lot of free pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like freebies.
Another free pawn. This game is just not going well for your poor opponent.
Yeah.
Taking the pawn, check, and is it over yet? Another free pawn, and finally your opponent says, that is it.
Yeah.
I give up.
Yeah, they resigned at that point.
Yeah, were you excited when they resigned there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you seemed very, very excited about this game. All right, should we show them your other game of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one you're not quite as excited about, huh?
Yeah, because
Well, let's not spoil it yet. Let's not spoil it yet. Okay, so let's see. What color are we in this one?
White.
We're white again. Okay. So
Actually, I think we're black. I'm not sure.
okay, let's go back and check. This time we are black. You're right. So let's see. Can we flip this? Yeah, we can flip it like that. Okay. So your opponent played your favorite opening move, right? Oh, is this when you said my opponent's really good? Is that when you said it?
Well, I saw their rating.
Oh, you saw their rating.
It was 1,059.
Oh, wow. That is really good. Okay. So they're over 1,000. And they made the move that you liked to make in the beginning. So you were probably like, oh, okay. So why'd you make that move?
Because I wanted to castle.
Because you went to castle, and also what else do you always like to do at the beginning?
I always like to take the center.
Yeah, take the center. Okay, so they are attacking your pawn. Did you see that in the game that they were attacking your pawn?
No.
No, we overlooked
I
that.
just wanted to
Ah, oh yeah, you were just trying to castle. So this is interesting. This is called the Petrov's defense because what it is a lot of people would make this move to protect your pawn. And by making the move you made, you said, if you take my pawn, I can just take your pawn. Ha ha. And they took your pawn. And did you take their pawn?
I'm
guessing no.
So.
Yeah, I'm guessing you just moved this bishop because you loved castling so much. Yep, you put it on your favorite square, your favorite bishop square. And what is that getting you ready to do?
Castle!
Yeah, whoa, that was really loud. So we're getting ready now to castle. So that's exciting news. And your opponent just moves their bishop. What did you think about that bishop move? Did you think that was a scary move? Were you like, okay?
Yeah, I was like, your queen will get chased all around the board.
Yeah, so you were thinking that's not the best move to move your queen out that early. Okay, I'm going to guess you castled here. Oh, you didn't castle. That's interesting. So it looks like you took a pawn, and doesn't that pawn have a backup?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you just not see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see.
That happened. So you didn't see that, and so then the queen comes in and takes your knight. And is that when you started to get upset? Because I heard you getting a little upset. Were you upset, or were you just kind of like, that happens?
Well, I was like, that happens.
Okay. And then did you castle next? Yes, you castled next. Okay, let's see what... Oh, no. Oh, I know what happens from here. So let's take a minute. What is white threatening to do?
White is threatening to take the pawn on h7.
Yeah.
Check.
Check. And does it have a backup then if the queen goes here? Yeah, because it's the backup, right? It's called a battery. So it's going to be checkmate. So I want to ask you this question. Did you see that right here?
I didn't.
Yeah. So you didn't see this, and so you made a different move. That's what your move was. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Checkmate.
Then
Let's go back for a second. Are there any moves that could have stopped that checkmate, or is that checkmate going to happen no matter what?
that push the middle, push
Okay.
the G pawn up.
Push the G pawn up, and how does that stop the checkmate?
It stops the checkmate. They have to take the pawn, and they have to
Yeah.
spend 2 turns.
Yeah, they can't get to that square now, right? And if they tried to do that, what would you do?
I just take their queen.
Yeah, just take them back and say, thank you very much for the queen.
Yes.
Opponent probably wouldn't have done that, right? They probably would have done something different. But still, yeah, that can be tough. So it's important to try to keep track of your opponent's pieces, especially when they're targeting one of these squares around your king and they have a battery. Like here, this square is really weak. And then for your opponent, like this square is kind of weak at the beginning. Like you have this here. If you'd had a queen on that diagonal as well, that could have come in and checkmated. But yep, they got you with a sneaky trick, and you were not very happy about that, were you?
Mm-hmm. I lost that game and won the other.
Yep.
Because the person resigned the other one.
All right. Well, good games today, and thanks so much for helping us out with your thoughts and your commentary. Did you have fun playing your 2 games today?
Well, this one I didn't, but the other one I did.
Okay, so you're a little bit. Are you results oriented? That means you like games better when you win them, or did you just feel like this one wasn't that fun because it ended so fast?
The one that wasn't fun because it ended so fast, and I really like winning.
Okay, I can understand that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this chess video, and I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.